Hello again, it's Lock Noob, and in front of us we have a really wonderful Assa Euro. See, it's got a really nicely paracentric keyway there, and well, it works lovely. It's got 6 pins, and look at the key. Now that is some bitting right there. You can see that pin 1 is reasonably low, but pin 2 and 4 there are extremely high, but just look at how low pin 3 is. This is what we call an overset trap, because to get a pick deep enough into the lock and get around the warding and be able to pick pin 4 without oversetting pin 3, well that's pretty tough. If you look here, I've been using this Sparrow's medium hook, and that just about, when angled just right in the keyway, can again just about pick those pins. But it's not an easy feat, made just a little bit more difficult by the fact that this is a lock made by Assa. I'm not entirely sure what the model is. It can either be a 600 series Assa or a Ruko, just with the Assa branding. We should be able to tell from the pins. The pins, now I've not been inside this lock at all. I'd like to. I've loosened off the circlip a little bit, so I'll be able to gut it later. But I've not actually looked inside. If I was to predict, I would say that it's possible it has some master wafers in. I think that this looks like it's part of a suite of locks. And you can see it's like been punched with a 33 there, 33 there. So it makes you think this is part of a suite of locks at some point. Normally when a lock's part of a suite, it's because they've been master keyed. It's sometimes keyed light, but mostly master keyed. That means that they probably have some wafers in some of the pin stacks. I don't know, it's a prediction. It does feel a little gritty, and that either means it's got very sharp edged spools or serrated pins, or milling or undercutting, or wafers, or a combination of all of them. So that's my prediction for this lock. Anyway, it's a really well made lock, a really tough pick with or without master wafers, and yeah, let's see if I can get it on camera. So I'm going to grab a vise and let's get going. Okay, so we are in the vise. Hopefully the autofocus will keep up with us, and just remind ourselves of that key. Isn't that lovely? Pop that in. Very sensitive lock to tension, which will be provided by this bit of bent wiper blade. Get some pretty good tension on that. Going to use a medium hook, which is reasonably deep medium hook. This is a Sparrow's medium hook, I think. I know it's Sparrow's. I'm not sure if it's a medium or a deep hook. I think it's a medium hook. Let's go through pin 6. Little click. 5's not ready. Just go back under pin 6 again. And 5. Pin 4 now. Nice click on 4. Release some of that tension. I think I've overset something, so I'm just going to let go of tension, see, re-pick a pin if I need to. I think it might have been 4. I think that might be it. That's 4 again. Just trying to get, that's 5. 2, 1. Okay. 6 there again. Two. 1. Back to the back. Ah, that's a much better click on 4 there. Just a tiny click on 5 and then 4. Okay, so let's try 6. Nothing. 5. Little click. 4 now. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Just give it a little tap. Bounce that tension. Try again. Go through. We're in a bit of a full set now. 6. 5. 4. 3. Tiny click on 3. 2, 1. And a tiny counter rotation on there as well. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Try my Peterson gem, just see if there's anything I'm missing in there. Oh, a click on 1 and we are open. Whew. Now, I don't want to over-egg this, but that is an incredibly hard lock. And yeah, I've had to practice that a few times. But that's okay, because we are lock sporters and picking locks is what we do best and what we enjoy best. So yeah, let's get and gut this. So, sorry about pausing the video there. It's you probably saw that I'd gutted the lock, but I had lost this wafer, this one here, to the floor, and it took me over 20 minutes to locate it. It was actually stuck on top of my PC. Brilliant. Anyway, look, enough about that. Let's just have a look at these incredible pins. And you'll see that they're all steel with steel springs, which is why it's got a it's hard to push against these steel springs. They really are tough springs to push against. You see that all the key pins are standards. And we have wafers in positions 1, 2, and 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And these are the master wafers that I did say I thought we'd find inside there because it looked like a lock, which was part of suite. And I think that this is a Ruko 600 series, and with just the Assa branding, not the Assa Ruko branding or the Ruko branding. Mostly I think that because it doesn't have the classic Assa pins, it has these lovely gin bottle spools, which are very Ruko. And just look at that, it looks like a little gin bottle, doesn't it, when you turn it that way up. Why are they hard? Well, they act like spools. They're steel, so they've got a very thin lip to them. But if you look at this core here, you can see already that there is some undercutting. And what that is that there's some cutting just down in the side of the lock, and that means that you get this little lip, which you can see the hook sort of there catches onto, and so would the tip of that gin bottle spool would catch on that lip as well. Oh, don't lose that one on the floor. But you get the general idea. Now, master wafers normally make a lot easier to pick. In this case, because all the master wafers are on the pin side, it doesn't massively affect the picking of the lock unless you are oversetting the pins slightly. Which case, then if you overset these key pins, you could still hit another shear line. So it does make them a little bit easier. But as you saw, all of these wafers were still in the, I believe, yeah, no, they were all still in the core here in the pin side, which meant that I didn't do any overset, so I did pick it properly. Please comment below if I get that theory wrong, but that is the case. The one where it might, for another picking, make it a little bit easier is in position 3. Because if you look at the key, at position 3 you have a very, very deep cut. Now normally that would mean that it's very, very easy to overset that pin. Let me get this hook in there and I'll show you. If I can get on top of the pin. So you can see here, there we go. If you get underneath it, it doesn't take a lot to set that pin. And push it too high, it'll overset, go up into the Bible and stop the lock from opening. The thing is with this lock, if you really, really overset it, like really overset it, and keep going, it will reach the other shear line where that top wafer meets the key pin proper. I didn't do that, but you could argue that it does make that overset trap a little easier to get out of, because if you do find yourself getting into it, then you just push the pin higher and it'll reach second shear line and then will allow you to proceed. So yeah, I don't think the master wafering in this instance really made a difference to the picking. It was certainly a very hard lock to pick. I do believe it's a Ruko. Again, if any of this isn't right, just comment below, let me know. Would be genuinely very interested. But yeah, I think it's an Assa Ruko 600. Really, really fantastic lock, very hard to pick, and if you do get a chance to do so, have a go yourself. Okay, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time.